Welcome back to BetterAvecBourbon. Today we've got a tale of two Macallans that we'll be tasting. The Macallan 12-Year Double Cask, perhaps the most common Macallan seen out and about, and the Macallan 12-Year Sherry Oak Cask. And although they're both 12 years old, Highland single malt scotches, they have very different finishes and a $50 price difference between them. And although they're labeled as Highland single malt scotches, their whiskey is made in Speyside, a subregion of the Highlands known for fruit-forward, smooth sherry cask whiskies. Macallan is a storied Scotch brand that traces its history as far back as 1543 with the Grant family, but the distillery itself was established in 1824 by Alexander Reed. In 1892, Roderick Kemp purchased the Macallan and began the tradition of aging Macallan in sherry-seasoned casks. In 1918, Janet Harbinson joined as managing partner and matriarch of the distillery, investing in the Macallan during downtimes. In 1943, managing partner Dr. Samuel Allen Chiak made the decision to conserve stocks for aging and only sell what was necessary. In 1977, a formal partnership was made with Spanish sherry cask makers. In 1980, the Macallan began being marketed as a single malt, and in 2024, Macallan celebrated their 200th year. Macallan believes that the cask is the source of 80% of the flavor and 100% of the natural color. So even though both Macallans are 12 years old, the difference in their casking has resulted in very distinct colors and flavors, and they're even bottled at different proofs. But we'll need to taste them to determine whether the Sherry Oak Cask is worth the extra $50. So without further ado, gather your whiskeys, Glencairns, and let's get to it. The first whiskey, as the name implies, is a 12-year-old Scotch that's aged in an even split of American and European oak casks, seasoned with Oloroso sherry wine in Jerez de la Frontera, Spain. And as a single malt, it is made from 100% barley and is produced at a single distillery. Now let's give it a smell. For aroma, Macallan says on the box, creamy butterscotch with a hint of toffee apple, candied orange, vanilla custard, and newly felled oak. From my nose, I get fresh woodiness, rich honey, a bit of citrus, and a bit of spice. The Macallan 12-Year Sherry Oak Cask, on the other hand, is matured in mostly European Oloroso sherry oak casks, seasoned in Jerez de la Frontera, and likewise is a single malt made from 100% barley and is produced at a single distillery. For aroma, they say on the box, complex with hints of vanilla, dried fruit, and ginger. For my nose, it's very fruity, reminiscent of Courvoisier XO with stone fruit, apricot flavor, a bright citrus note, followed by a lingering spice medley. Super complex and potent compared to the more delicate nose of the double cask. But let's give them a taste. For the double cask, Macallan states deliciously honeyed, ginger and citrus balanced with raisins and caramel on the palate. And for the finish, oak lingers, warm, sweet, and drying. For my taste, I get citrus, ginger, and honey with a nice balance of savory and sweet. For the sherry oak cask, they say smooth, medium balanced with fruit, oak, and spice on the palate. And for the finish, long with sweet dried fruits, oak, and spice. Now I know what First Fill Whiskey is talking about when he calls a whiskey a sherry bomb. For my taste, I get strong dried fruit flavors of apricot, orange, with some rich spice. It's only 3% higher in ABV, but the mouth feels a step above the double cask. A really delicious dram that, even with the price, is a must try. But what would I choose between the two? The double cask is a delicious, delicate whiskey that I think generally would please a wider audience. But for those of you like myself who love a bold, complex sherry bomb with all that blend of dry fruitiness and spice, the Sherry Oak Cask is a slam dunk. But I noticed when reviewing Macallan's website that alongside updating their box designs from blue and black to a red and white patterning, they've also updated their tasting notes, and it doesn't specify Oloroso sherry. Have you had a chance to try Macallan since the rebranding? Any better or worse? Let me know. Thanks everyone for watching. Do you have a favorite Speyside whiskey or sherry bomb? Let me know down below. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, hit that like button, press subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.